So Unit 8 is an introductory awareness of working with others in health and social care and children and young people's settings. And the aims and objectives of this session, so by the end of this session you will know how to work together with others, you will understand partnership working in health, social care and children and young people's settings. So the first part of the session we're going to look at the importance of working with others. Now there are a wide range of people and professionals with different skills who work hard to provide the many services in health, social care, children and young people's settings. Each one of these people has an important job to do. They could not do their job without working with other people. So who are these people? Well, we have split them up here into two different categories. We've got healthcare professionals and other workers. So some examples of healthcare professionals are doctors, nurses, health visitors, care workers, dietitians, and we have some examples of other workers, cooks, cleaners, office staff. Now all these people need to work together to get the job done, and they need to work together as a team. So teamwork. So this is when people work well together. So for a few minutes have a think about when you have worked in a team and how well did you work together? And who did you work with? Who was involved? We've looked at the different professionals, we've looked at other people, and just for a few minutes, just have a think about that. So here we have an example of individuals working together. So a doctor in a health centre has a room where people are seen and treated. People who need to see the doctor will speak to a receptionist who will book them an appointment. The health centre rooms need to be very clean, so cleaning staff have an important job to do. It's important that all professionals and others with different jobs do work together so that they can provide the very best service. And you'll see there within that example, you have the doctor who works in the health centre. You have the receptionist who will book an appointment, and that can be more than one receptionist that you will maybe deal with. And also there's cleaning staff that have an important job to do to make sure the health centre rooms are clean. So all those people are working together as a team. So we're now going to look at the importance of working with others. So it improves support for individuals to coordinate the service offered. So as we said on the last example, we have the receptionist who takes the booking for the doctor. So that's the coordination of that service that's offered. Time is used more efficiently. So if the doctor was having to take the telephone call to take his or her own appointments, that's not using time efficiently. The doctor needs to spend time with the patient, and the receptionist is there to support the doctor by taking the telephone calls and making the appointments for the individuals. Helps to support appreciation and understanding between team members. So by all working together and knowing what the jobs entail, that obviously supports more appreciation for individuals. It helps the service users see good practice. So again, for that example in the doctor's surgery, so a service user coming in can see how it's efficient, it works well. They've got a procedure in place where you book your appointment and then you're waiting, you're going to see the doctor. It supports a friendly environment for individuals within the setting. So that goes for service users and also for the team workers, for the people who are working there, all the individuals. If it's all running smoothly, then obviously it's supporting a friendly environment. And it also provides support for new and inexperienced members of staff. So somebody coming new on board or somebody just starting out and not got much experience, by all working together and supporting each other within individual roles, obviously will give support to new individuals starting in the setting. So the first question is asking you to outline why it is important to work with others. So you can use some of those examples, and because it's an outline, you need to give some examples you need to write 2 to 3 sentences with the reasons for your answer when you're outlining. You can use those examples, and you can also think of some of your own within your answer. So we're now going to look at ways that we can work together with others. So, it's okay saying that, like on the last question, why it's important, but we need to find ways of making sure we do it. So, for example, sharing ideas. So everybody's got their own experiences. They may have worked at a different setting before and pick some ideas up there. So it's really important that we listen and we share we listen to people's ideas and take them on board. Understand the importance of teamwork. Again, really important that you do understand why you need to work as a team, and understanding the different job roles of different people, and all important, but understanding the importance of it. Having meetings, so regular team meetings, really important. That's where you can share, it's a time where you can share ideas, and also talk about things that work well, things that might not be working so well, offering support and advice. So again, if you offer that to your colleagues, that is going to make it a nicer environment. If you're offering support and advice to individuals, sharing information. So we've talked about sharing ideas, but sharing information. So making sure you pass on information. You may have been asked to pass some information on, and it's important that you do. Knowing what skills others have in the team. As we said before, everybody's job is important, and everybody has their own skills. And it's knowing what those skills are so that you can make the best use of those skills to, as we said earlier, to make things run smoother and in a more effective way. Listening to each other and using good communication. So those two really, go together. It's really important that you do listen and use good communication skills when you are talking to people. And I know we've looked previously at active listening skills, and it's important that you do listen and you take the time to listen to each other. Sometimes it may be a busy environment, but it's really important that we communicate and we listen to each other. So this brings us to question number 2, and you need to outline ways of working together with others. And again, remember to use sentences. You can use the slides, the last slide, to help you when you're writing your answer. And obviously you can do your own research and use your own ideas as well. So we're now going to look at positive work methods and barriers to working together effectively. And you'll see the slide is split into two different sections. The first section, working well together, and the second section is not working well together. So I'm just going to talk you through. So we'll start with working well together. So listening to what people say and trying to see their point of view. Again, we talked earlier on about listening and communication, but it's really important, that we listen to what people say and try and see their point of view. We can't agree with everybody, we've all got different ideas and different opinions, but we really do need to try and see their point of view. By going to meetings and sharing ideas, sometimes people can't attend meetings for different circumstances, and so it's important that if you do go to a meeting, that you share your ideas from that meeting, take notes, bring back any ideas to share with each other, because again, that actually gets the team working together if you're bringing the ideas to the team. Getting to work on time and being reliable, really, really important. It's so important that you get to work on time. If you've got a set time to start work, you need to be there on time, if not before, to get yourself prepared, but you need to be reliable. People know that they can trust you to be reliable. Speak clearly and use an appropriate language. So again, make sure when you are talking to people, you speak as clear as you can, use an appropriate language. offering support and help. So, speaks for itself, supporting, helping each other, and asking for advice when you need it. We don't know everything. It's important that we do ask for advice because, when we've looked over the weeks at the different, some of the different units, you might ask something that you don't know and you don't want to give the wrong answer. It's important that you ask for advice if you feel you need it, because that means you're working well together. And then if we look at the next side, not working well together. So listening to others' advice but not taking any notice of their point of view, going to meetings and not sharing ideas, being late and not letting others know where you are. So sometimes things can happen. You might get stuck, the bus might not have turned up, you might have missed the train, traffic jams. It's important that you let people know where you are if you are going to be late. Not speaking clearly and using slang. There's slang and there's jargon as well. You've got to speak clearly. You've got to be able to people to understand you. Not helping when someone is struggling. We talked before about offering support and help. So it's really important that we do help people when they're struggling. And doing everything your own way, even if you know things could work better, but you need to. If you're not doing it, if you're just doing it your own way, then obviously, you're not going to work well together. So some things that people do and the ways that they do them can mean the difference between working well together and not. So that, just sort of ends the last discussion on the slide previously, and which brings us to question 3. And you need to give examples of both ways that work well and ways that do not work well when working with others. And you can actually produce the evidence in a poster for this, but you need to give examples of both ways that work well and ways that do not work well. And again, you can use information to support it on the previous slide, and also thinking of your own ideas as well. So here is an example of partnership working. A young child in a nursery with a speech and language difficulty may have the support of a speech therapist who comes into the nursery to support the child. The speech therapist will also share ideas with the nursery staff so they know best how to support the child. The speech therapist and the nursery staff will meet regularly with the child's parents or carers to share information about the child's progress. So you will see from that example that the organisation, the speech and language therapy is working with the nursery, and then they're both working with the parent or the carer of the child. So they're building that partnership. They're keeping everybody informed of what's going on, and for the best interest and the best outcome for that child, to support that child's speech and language difficulty. So they will be giving ideas of how to help the child communicate. Like I say, the speech and language therapist will be working with the nursery, and then there'll be also the parents or the carers will be working with the child at home as well to support that speech and language difficulty further. So who are the partners in health and social care and children and young people settings? So here are some examples. Nursery workers, care workers, doctors, health visitors, speech therapists, occupational therapists, receptionists, cleaning staff, school nurses, teachers, special educational needs coordinators, and many, many more. So thinking about the previous slide, and we're going to now look at question number 5, which is asking you to give examples of who partners might be. Now you need to give one example from each of the following partnerships. So individuals, so for example, unpaid carers, family or friends. Professionals, so examples, care workers, teachers. Communities, so for example, religious organisations, social networks. Recreational, so that could be related to hobbies or interests. And user-led groups, so for example, children's centres and resident forums. So there, on this question 5, you need to give one example from each of the following individuals, professionals, communities, recreational and user-led groups. And I've given some examples for you to work from. Think about the previous slide also, and make sure that you will have 5 examples within your answer. So what are the benefits of partnership working? And we've talked a little bit about this at the beginning when we looked at working together and why it was important. And the benefits of partnership working are that the correct support being available, people being seen and treated sooner, skills are being shared, information being shared appropriately, equipment is being shared, staff are sharing ideas, professionals are learning new skills from each other, and we're watching the ways others work and learning from this. That's the partnership. You'll see there the biggest part, what's jumping out from this slide, is about sharing. So sharing ideas, sharing equipment, sharing information, skills, and that leads to the partnership working. And this leads to the final question, question number 6, and is asking you to outline the benefits of partnership working in health, social care and children and young people settings. And again, it's an outline, so you need to write in sentences, giving some examples, and again, you can use the previous slide to support your answer and also using your own ideas. And we will just run over the aims and objectives. So now you've completed the session, you will know how to work together with others, and you will understand partnership working in health, social care and children and young people settings.